Can you find any good bikes at Walmart? Well, we took a look at Walmart to see if there are good bikes. I've heard rumors of good bikes. They still have this one. This is a classic. This is the Kent Ambush. You can watch my review from 10 years ago when it was $69. Decent bike for kids starting out, but my son took it to the BMX track and destroyed it. So that's not a real BMX bike, but it's a good one for a little kid to start on. Reasonably priced. But then if we walk over here, you see some shaky, phony mountain bikes. And then down here in the corner, what the heck is this? Tapered head tube, one by, disc brakes. This looks like a real, actual mountain bike. And right next to it is the crappiest, most dangerous, cheap mountain bike you can get. The old Huffy with the skinny fork legs and the quill stem for $69. So it's under $70 for a crap mountain bike, but you don't want that. You want to be safe and you want to ride in actual dirt, then the Ozark Trail is what you need. So there's a good look at the one by drivetrain there. One in the front and a big stack in the back, and then mechanical disc brakes. You don't get hydraulic at the price point. This is a 27.5-inch Ozark Trail vibe in size small, so there are different frame sizes depending on how tall you are. That's a decent fork. It's not going to break in half on the trail. It's not great, but you can see the fork head tube is tapered, so you could put a modern mountain bike fork on it. If it was a straight tube, you'd have more trouble finding good forks. And there's internal cable routing that you could even use to put a dropper post on it. You can see nice big wide handlebars and kind of, pretty generic shifter on it. But everything you would need to, if you wanted to be a beginner mountain biker and just get out on the trails, be reasonably safe and see if you like it. You can see those cranks adjust preload, but there is no rebound or lockout on the forks. But for the price, I think it's a good starter mountain bike that you can either upgrade along the way or you can sell and buy a better bike if you like riding in the mountains. So how much is it? $298 for the 27.5 version, which is what we were looking at. And then they have a 29er that they're selling for $398 at Walmart. And here's a look at a fake tapered head tube. I've never seen this before. So they make it fat on the bottom, but then skinny on the way bottom. So you think you have a tapered head tube, but you don't. But the higher level Schwinn's are comparable to that Ozark Trail. So Schwinn also has some entries into this market. You can see two of them there, a 27.5 and a 29er, with a lot of the same features we saw on the Ozark Trail bike. So you can choose between the two to check out the reviews and see which one you like better. You can see it's got a fork on it with some adjustability. It's got the wide handlebars. It's got the one-by drivetrain. It's got disc brakes and then routing for a dropper post should you want one. It's got the tapered head tube. There's a close-up look at the disc brakes. I like how they put the Schwinn logo into the disc brakes, those little stars. That's a nice touch. I don't know if it makes it stop any better, but it's cool. And then there's look at the 27.5 version. You can see the forks on it aren't as adjustable on the 27.5. So they charge more for the 29, give you a few more features. But either one of these is also a decent mountain bike for the price. What is that price? The 27.5 version is $298 cash money, so that's the same as the Ozark Trail, but I think the fork on the Ozark Trail is a little better, and then it's $448 for the 29-incher, so a little bit more than the bigger Ozark Trail version. So let's take a little bit closer look here at just what you get and what you don't. The handlebars are nice and wide. There's your shifter. Again, both of them have mechanical disc brakes, so on neither one do you get a hydraulic. And that one's got an axe shifter on it. The more expensive one, the 29er, has the axe shifter on it. And it is guaranteed until you die. So this will be the last bike you ever need to buy if you buy the more expensive one, the 29er. And there's a look at the rider height graph on it. So both of these are available in different sizes. So make sure you buy the right one for your height. That's a good thing about buying a better quality mountain bike. You can see the cheaper one, there's no adjustment on the forks. On the more expensive one, the 29er, you've got preload, and then you even have a lockout on it here that you can use to lock the fork out if you want to. So that's a little bit of an upgrade versus a fork with no adjustments. But if you want a full suspension bike, that's the cheapest thing in the world. They still have the Flexor, and I'm sure it flexes on the trail. And I'm sure you don't want to ride this off-road, but it would be great around the neighborhood. And then they've also got the Hyper. And these bikes are heavy and cheap, and they work fine around the street, probably more comfortable than a bike with no rear suspension. But you can see 100 plus people bought this one yesterday. So the Hyper is $168 right now. So you get what you pay for. But if you're a person who really wants to try a little bit of off-roading on a bicycle and you want to be safe and you don't have a big budget, this is a great place to start. So Walmart's done a good job putting real quality bikes that can handle a little bit of abuse in their stores.